Hello, my name is Morgan El-Attrache, and I did my bankruptcy case study on CEC Entertainment, which is basically Chuck E. Cheese, and their Chapter 11 bankruptcy that they just recently filed this past year. So I'm going to talk about what's going on with them. A roadmap for this presentation, CEC, I'm going to talk about CEC and Chuck E. Cheese as a company, a little bit of history of CEC, and another COVID business crisis. And I'm going to talk about the Chuck E. Cheese Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the reason for the bankruptcy filing, and the background on their debt. I'm going to talk about the interim cash collateral order and the approval of the cash collateral order and um, the huge ordeal on that. It took a while. It took a lot for the order to be approved. And I'm going to talk about the $200 million DIP facility they were able to obtain. And then I'm going to talk about Chuck E. Cheese going forward and the restructuring that they're doing. So, an overview of CEC Entertainment business. CEC, like I said, is the parent company of Chuck E. Cheese. They are incorporated in Irving, Texas. CEC operates more than 600 Chuck E. Cheese locations in 47 states and 16 foreign countries. And they also own 120 Peter Piper restaurants, which, like I said earlier, is one of the smaller chains that they run as well. And I'm sure, as you all know, Chuck E. Cheese is a kid-friendly restaurant chain where families can go and eat pizza and the kids can run around and play in the ball pit or the jungle gym, and there's arcade games with opportunities to win prizes at the end, and they have this fun and not creepy at all mouse that you can dance around with, and it's just a great place where a kid can be a kid. So, history and the business of Chuck E. Cheese. They were founded in 1977, and each Chuck E. Cheese venue includes approximately 75 games, rides, and attractions. I think they have like even little roller coasters in their venues. And before February 2014, CEC was a publicly owned company until Apollo Global Management acquired CEC in a leverage buyout. And in 2019, CEC generated $912.9 million in revenue. And you'll see on the next slide that this was really a lower amount of revenue that they usually receive. So they were already down in 2019 before the pandemic, but 16% of this total revenue comes from the birthday packages that they provide. So you bring your kid and you pay a certain amount of money for your kid's birthday, and they bring their friends and they provide you with pizza and name plates and table decorations, and it's fun, and your kids can run around and play. So another COVID bankruptcy crisis. So CEC Entertainment voluntary filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the Southern District of Texas on June 24th, 2020, during the midst of the COVID pandemic. And Chapter 11 allows the company to restructure while the creditors' claims are held off. And so the size of the case, Chuck E. Cheese had $1.7 billion in assets, $2 billion in liabilities. They had 15,205 full-time and part-time employees that they had to pay. And I found on the first day motions, they had 1,500 potential creditors that had claims. So the cause of the financing problems, CEC reported $29 million in losses in 2019. And when the pandemic hit, they had to close down all of their venues and their dining rooms. So revenue fell 90%. And because of this, they weren't able to keep up with the business. So they faced more than 50 lawsuits from landlords over missed rent payments and lease terminations from shutting down their stores. So on June 25th, the court granted motions that allowed Chuck E. Cheese to continue participating in existing cash management and bank accounts and continue their customer programs in the ordinary course of business. So more on the bankruptcy. On June 26, CEC filed a motion seeking authority to use $105 million cash collateral that they drew from the revolver before bankruptcy, right before bankruptcy, and then they believe that with this existing cash, it will be enough to continue operating their business and administer the Chapter 11 bankruptcy for at least several months. But without the cash collateral, CEC argues that they will be unable to satisfy their trade payables, their taxes, and other expenses incurred in the ordinary course of business. And then also, without their cash collateral, they believe that they will be unable to preserve and maximize the value of their estates, pursue a plan of reorganization, and administer the Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And so they made a deal with the senior lenders that provided CEC to use the cash collateral subject to an approved budget. And the senior lenders would be granted super priority claims and automatically perfected lien, security interest, and other adequate protection. The modification of the automatic stay and a waiver of any applicable stay. And the schedule of the final hearing would be 30 days after the petition date, so July 30th. And so then on June 29th, the court approved this interim cash collateral order. But the official committee of unsecured creditors was like, hold on, no, and objected to this order. And they argued that the $105 million cash collateral basically wasn't enough. Their approved budget said Chuck E. Cheese would basically blow through $80 million in the first 13 weeks of bankruptcy, and their approved budget also said they are projected to exit bankruptcy in December, but with this $105 million cash collateral, they would be completely blown through by December. And so the committee was like, at least wait until you get a DIP financing in order to implement an exit strategy. And the ad hoc senior note holders objected as well, and they argued that the proposed milestones were overly restricted because CEC does not, if they don't present an acceptable term sheet or plan, then not only do they lose their consensual right to use the cash collateral, then the door is open for the pre-petition secured parties to pursue court relief to foreclose on their collateral. So then they got together and made like a new order that postponed the milestone, the 30-day milestone, until after they got DIP financing and that plan was approved. So this like little stipulation was approved by the court on August 3rd. And then CEC filed a motion to approve a $200 million DIP financial plan, and that included the cash collateral. and basically it was just a debt for equity plan. And on December 29th, the court entered approving that DIP motion. So the financing will go towards supporting reorganization and operational expenses as CEC seeks to emerge from Chapter 11. So CEC Entertainment restructuring going forward, CEC has around 336 Chuck E. Cheese's that have been open and plan to continue opening restaurants as COVID kind of slows down and things be getting safer and stuff. But I found that on a source dated from October, so they definitely have more venues open now than 336. But something that I found really interesting, the e-tickets that you get, and when you play the games and you cash them, you go at the end and get your prize, depending on how many tickets. There was 7 billion paper prize tickets that had to be destroyed, and this was like approximately 9 million. The 7 billion paper tickets was $9 million in prizes. So to destroy the tickets, they would have to take like a $2 million loss. But that's better than having the tickets circulate around and potentially having to give out $9 million of prizes if someone were to get a hold of these tickets. So they took the $2 million loss and destroyed the tickets just to be on the safe side. And so then also now they're doing delivery birthday parties. So you get the whole Chuck E. Cheese experience at your house. They give you a photo background that you could take of Chuck E. Cheese, Chucky, and his friends, and you can take pictures with them. They give you a place, a table setting, and pizza and name tags and goodie bags and just fun stuff like that. And also they have permanently closed 47 stores. So although the COVID pandemic has a negative impact on the entertainment business, hopefully Chuck E. Cheese will be able to bounce back and kids can go back and have fun like before COVID. But notably, they took away all of their ball pits. So no more ball pits, but you could still go and play some arcade games. And here are my sources. Thank you.